Today's video is going to be a little bit of a compilation of thoughts that I've had about shopping and personal style recently. If you've watched my channel before, you will know that these are topics that I love to talk about. So if you're also interested in conscious consumption and finding your style, then please make sure to stick around. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Louise and I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious and sustainable ways. A few days ago, my dad invited me on a shopping trip because he needed my help with picking out a few new clothes for the summer. Of course, I was happy to help, and so we went into the city and had a browse around a few stores, and he ended up with a few really nice items to complement the rest of his closet. I may have mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but my dad's shopping habits are very different from mine. My dad goes shopping probably like twice a year, and so he shops for the season ahead and he replaces items that he needs to replace, but he doesn't buy new clothes because he wants to, it's because he needs to. It became very clear to me on our shopping trip when I asked him whether he would be interested in trying out a pair of boat shoes. I've also been trying to convince my boyfriend to try boat shoes, but none of them have taken the bait yet. And so when I asked my dad about the boat shoes, he said he already has a pair of shoes that he likes and he doesn't need another pair of summer shoes. He told me that he needed to get a few more shirts and tops and maybe a summer jacket, but that was it. Granted, he did end up spending more money than I would have probably spent in one day, but then again, he got exactly what he was looking for and he did not buy anything that he didn't feel comfortable in or that he didn't want to wear. As the day came to an end, I realized that whilst I may have taught him a thing or two about clothes and how to style them, he definitely made me think twice about shopping and how it relates to personal style. So if you think about it, it makes sense to buy clothes this way because rather than impulse buying, limiting your purchases to only a few times per year gives you time to think about what you really need and time to set a reasonable budget. Plus, it gives you time to save up and perhaps get the item that you really want instead of a fast fashion option. The satisfaction of getting something that you've been wanting for a long time is also so much better than shopping frequently and getting small dopamine hits here and there. I think there is a lot of pleasure in waiting and really truly giving yourself time to reflect and think about your purchases. Also, the items that you end up getting are so much more thought out and more considered and more aligned with the rest of your closet. So even if you do shop less or less often, you will end up with clothes that you value much, much more. In case you didn't know, I'm currently doing a no buy July, and what this means is I am not buying any clothes for this month. It may sound obvious, like a lot of people don't buy new clothes every month, but for me, who's a recovering shopaholic or someone who spends way much too money on clothes, it's definitely a challenge that I think that I'm gonna learn something from. So I've already been having way much more fun getting dressed than I have had in a long time because there's nothing new coming into my closet. Every day that I get dressed, I need to get dressed with items that I've worn before. And I thought that this would leave me a little bit uninspired with what to wear, but in fact, it's been the opposite. It's actually inspired me to style my clothes rather than consuming clothes. And I'm really thankful for the clothes that I have because I realized that I do have so many nice things and it's such a shame to never truly appreciate them and always keep thinking about the next thing. So having this time to really take a look at what I have and using what I've had is really a good thing for me. So I also will say that I feel more confident in the outfits that I wear because styling them is easy, because it comes more naturally, because I've worn the items before. I am a little bit of an all or nothing type of person, and because I am trying to consume less and really thinking about my shopping habits, I've also thought about whether or not I must also then quit following fashion trends altogether. Being interested in fashion and clothes, of course, I'm exposed to trends almost all of the time, and not just online, but in the real world as well, because I live in a quite big city and people here tend to dress quite trendy, and this makes it quite difficult for me to know whether I actually think that they're wearing something nice or if it's just a fad. What I've come to realize is that most often when I give into a trend, it's because of the FOMO I have rather than me actually liking the thing. And I'm worried that if I don't buy this skirt or those shoes, my outfits are gonna be lacking something, or they're gonna be without that like little extra flair that everyone else seems to have. But in fact, my outfits, when I don't buy into the trendy thing, usually end up being better. The thing is that anyone can buy into a trend and wear it, and obviously there's nothing wrong with buying trendy items and wearing them, but very few people can actually analyze the trend and dissect what they like about it and then create their new version of it. That's what I believe, in my opinion, makes someone stylish, because I think that the most stylish people are those who they take trends with kind of a grain of salt and they don't engage in all of it. It's much more for them about wearing outfits that they enjoy, no matter what like sneakers or hemlines are trending at the moment. Stylish people, I think, stay true to who they are, no matter what everyone else is wearing. So this brings me to my next idea or thought that I've been having, which is about the capsule closet. So after watching and being with my dad and knowing how he shops, he is very thoughtful, seasonal, and confident in knowing in what he likes and doesn't like. And this made me realize that that is basically what a capsule closet is all about. It's about knowing yourself enough to say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I'm gonna wear, and that's it. And whether you have a lot of clothes or if you have only a few clothes, if you love all of the items in your closet, your style is going to be so much more cohesive and true to who you are. And I think that's probably what I admire most about the way that my dad shops. He doesn't care what's trending and he doesn't care usually what other people think. He knows what suits him and what feels good to him, but also what works according to his lifestyle. That kind of clarity, if you will, it doesn't come from shopping a lot. It comes from living and having the experience. And it also comes from maybe perhaps outfit mistakes, also from re-wearing your clothes and being an outfit repeater. So as someone in my 20s, I think that we sometimes think that the older generation or your parents feels rude to say older, but you get what I'm saying. We think that they're kind of out of touch when it comes to fashion and trends, but honestly, I think that they are the ones who knows it best because they've had the time to figure out what matters to them, and as a result, they often dress better and they also consume more mindfully. So if there's one thing that I'm learning, especially during my no-buy month, it's that building a wardrobe you love doesn't mean that you have to constantly add to it. It means curating it, living in it, and growing into it the same way that you're kind of growing into yourself. Very cliche, but those are my final words on this video. Let me know what you think about this train of thought, if you've ever reflected on your shopping habits versus maybe someone else in your life, and let me know if you've ever done a no-buy challenge. I would love to hear all about it in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy this video, video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on TikTok or Instagram at Louise Wears. I wish you the best week ahead, and I will see you again next time. Bye!